So we're on episode 3. First 2 have gone real well. Second one actually got a lot of good feedback, to be fair. People that I don't know coming up to us and saying it worked out all right. So we'll maybe get Blaney back on. I think we should start with the obvious one, which was, how was everyone's Christmas party? Yeah.
Eventful.
Has anyone heard from James? Do we know? Yeah. Is he alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
He is alive. Yeah. So because his cod piece is in reception, so he needs to pick that up.
To clarify, it's Friday morning and we haven't heard from him.
On Saturday.
He hasn't been in the gym.
I think it was yesterday he messages with like a 4-minute voice note of just
crying.
More or less how Germany was that.
He's definitely hibernating for a few days.
So we know that James is alive. There's a massive sexual harassment case against Dec, mainly coming from me. So that'll be going into the folder in the main gym. The bar tab was big by the end.
Can you remember it?
Big enough. I've got it.
Framed on his wall. You probably throwing some shapes in Central means that you've thrown your back out as well.
It was Monday.
Dec went out strong, didn't he? Yeah, to be fair,
impressive, really.
He lasted a while, like.
Really impressive.
Just when he was dooming in the well and he had a little quilt over him or something. What did he have over him? Someone's coat. He was tucked in on like that.
He'd have like a big pint, a little pint, and then a pint of wine next to him, and he'd just like move between the three of them. This is insane. Yeah. I got into the car with a couple of my coaches, Brett and Jodie, and first thing Brett turned to me and said, "Well, like, we're all normal, then." We're actually not that bad. Yeah. Anyways, we need to move this into what we're doing today. So we have got Daz Faulton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a quick scan down your Instagram. I'm going to have a stab at Pro PCA card.
Yeah.
What we're going to do here really is just dig out a little bit about who you are, what got you into bodybuilding. What I mean, I'm an absolute novice. I've been in and around training since I was 16. I know fucking nothing about bodybuilding as a sport.
Oh, it's a cliche thing, that's really. It's
only from the outside, yeah. So I'm quite interested in this, to be fair, because the more I've read up on it and the more I've kind of chatted a load of questions, the more I'm actually like, there's a lot that goes into this. Yeah. So, first 2 questions. How did you get into bodybuilding, and what does it mean when you get a pro card? So first one we'll start with is, how did you get into the sport of bodybuilding?
Well, obviously I've trained since I was 14, 15, always enjoyed that. And then obviously I went to TEDS, and when you go to TEDS, there's bodybuilders all over the spot.
Just on picture frames?
Yeah, there's honestly hundreds and hundreds of pictures just all over the spot, all over upstairs, downstairs, photos everywhere. And at the time there was a couple of people going there. And like Bez, do you know Paul Berrigan? He was going, and obviously he'd done bodybuilding and all that, and I ended up having a crack with him. And then one thing led to another, and he was like, "Oh, you should try this," and then he prepped us, and I just jumped into it.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Fuck it, let's go for it."
How long ago?
That was 2015.
So nearly 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First prep started at 20 and ended up competing by 20. I was 21.
How old were you, Daz, when you used to go boxing at working?
15.
That's 15, I think. I first remember you.
With Martin.
With Martin
and
at
Joe.
The old
sports centre.
Yeah.
That was class, that.
Have you always been sporty, good at sport?
So I've done football, rugby, boxing, MMA, athletics.
Pretty much everything, eh?
Yeah, I was like more or less county level on more stuff. I've always been like very athletic until now.
Blood pressure's at like 205, yeah. Exactly.
Funny, because I would look at you in the gym and think, he plays football.
The thing is as well, I was centre back, which you wouldn't think 5'6" being a centre back as well. I could just jump and then get in.
Somebody's getting an elbow.
Now they just have to go around you, wouldn't they?
Wait for it to catch up.
That's a little bit about how you got into bodybuilding. I would say the lifestyle of it looks brutal from the outside. But what attracted you to? Because from my head, and I don't know if yours is the same, I look at bodybuilding as like, I need to get as big as possible, as lean as possible, and I need to train, and it's a consistency of it that'll get you there. So what pulled you into that kind of sport?
I don't know. Obviously, I enjoyed the look. Like when you get.
Is that what you think it is for most people? Is the look of it?
Yeah, and it's the discipline as well.
Yeah.
Like for me, it becomes like an addiction. Week to week, when you're seeing like a new vein or a new bit of definition, I just want more. It does become an obsession.
And do you get really into like how you look, and you'll notice like I've got a new vein there?
Yeah. Like from week to week when you do your check-ins, even from day to day sometimes when you do your check-ins and such, you notice stuff different. It just happens. Like constantly comes.
Snowballs and then before you know it. Would you say that you like, we know that we look all right, like we train regular, we'll take our top off, no problem, but would you...
Body like beer, watch face like crap.
Yeah,
Watch.
I was having this crack with somebody the other day and I was saying like, I think females have got it really tough. Fellas, you either have a good personality or you go to the gym, like, you know what I mean? It's one of the two. But do you notice that, like you go past a mirror or whatever, do you check for that or?
Yeah, like for myself, like I've never really been.
What it looks like, well the finished product.
We're our own worst critics, aren't we? And for me, like my heaviest I've been is probably the weight of Daz's left leg, it's like 78, 79 kilo. And I was just like hot dog.
Yeah.
Like shapeless. just a hot dog body.
Never had that before.
Bit fluffy, and then obviously, like I've done boxing, got into high rocks, I've done Cali.
But yours has always come from the angle of the look is the separate factor, not the thing.
So for me, it's been performance based.
Leaning towards that.
Yeah, so like being able to do things. So boxing, obviously, being able to fight, and obviously part of that you want to be. Your weight wants to be as low as you can, without killing yourself.
Yeah.
And then with the Cali, you still want to be strong but lean to be able to do muscle ups. I mean, I know you get big fellas doing muscle ups and stuff like that. But I'm not a big person anyway.
No.
High rocks as well, and obviously like running as well. So it is always been for me performance based.
Which is the same for me, I'd say. Yeah, byproduct of that.
Is
yours. You almost leave not performance behind, but maybe in a factor to be as aesthetic as possible, almost like ornament based. Like I need to look a certain.
Especially when you're that close to prep, like the performance goes out the window. Like you're nowhere near as strong as you are. You can't train for as long as you want.
Do you track your numbers in terms of your strength training?
Yeah, so like sometimes I'll get obsessed with it and then I'll be like, right, this number. But then obviously I'll start like, I don't know how to describe it. I try not to get over analytical because I'll just try and force a rep sometimes and I'm like, oh, I beat you, but my form was shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So sometimes I'll go for it all out. I'll use a logbook and then I'll be like, right, I'm just gonna have some time off. I know where my numbers are. Now I'll just try and beat them if they come.
I would use the idea of a progressive overload principle in my training. So week on week, I want to manipulate a rep scheme or a number or how much I rest.
Yeah.
Do you use that in your training, or is yours very much just off the field?
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, I will get a logbook and I will just go for the numbers, try and beat reps, try and beat the weight and all that for a certain amount of time. But then I'll just go, right, I'm just going to train. I know where my numbers are.
Yeah.
I'm going to train so it feels good, so I can get a good pump and all that.
And is that the? Because again, that's something I've never done. Is I've never trained for that idea of what a pump is, which for the layman is just basically getting as much blood into the muscle as possible.
Obviously, that always goes against what the science thing and all that comes out nowadays. Where it's all about like progressive overload and all that. Sometimes I just enjoy going in, finding as much blood as you can into the muscle, and then getting away.
Yeah.
Speaking to you in the gym, Daz, and you're on the T-bar row. And you said about the idea is to look big, not lift big. And I was like, to look at you, you'd think,
super strong,
super strong. But it's not about that. It's about.
Well, that's weird. I've been stronger than what I am now, but I've never been as big as I am now.
Yeah.
So like sometimes you'll just get caught up with these numbers. It's the same. Like I've been like chunkier than I am now as well, but you just get caught with numbers, and sometimes it's just not great for like building muscle.
And surely if you were always chasing numbers in the gym, you'd probably get to a point where you're not getting as much out of your sessions, because you're not going to have trained that muscle to probably as efficiently as you would have done.
Exactly. I think you
with
find
lesser weights.
Yeah, you end up using other muscles and you'll swing stuff about and form goes to shit.
See, this is it as well. I wouldn't even think of that, because if I'm doing a squat or I'm doing a deadlift, I'm thinking like I want as many muscles working for me as possible.
Yeah.
Whereas you're thinking I need to side shoulder or rear delt or whatever, I need to get that as isolated as possible.
Yeah.
Because I need size on there. It is the polar opposite way of thinking about you.
That's just not just from A to B. You've kind of got to.
You're literally thinking like I'm into
Like
something.
a sculpture.
Yeah, and I'm trying to like knock shape into it in different places.
Well, that's how Arnie used his analogy. Said about just adding sculpture onto it.
Like slab it off. Clay, I think was the
clay.
thing,
I think you said
it?
something like that along the lines.
What's the thing that you find hardest in terms of body part, the thing that you have to go after the most? Or
Probably my back. I just like overall back, like just overall thickness. Everything else grows relatively all right. It's just the back just doesn't seem to have it.
Is it noticeable for you? Maybe for
It's a lot shallower than like the rest of my body parts. Like everything else I feel is like up to par. It's just the back. Like when it come in lean, like it's detailed and such, but it just hasn't got that thickness to it. No matter like, no matter how much you
train it or
I'm eating it twice a week now. It's getting a bit thicker, but you know what I mean. Compared to other people like Deck, guys half-assed sometimes, and then he'll have things and his back's absolutely brilliant.
I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because you see like genetically talented people, and like I would say you are somebody who's genetically talented. Like you aren't going to get the size and shape you are, but then you see somebody like Deck who is like
a genetic freak.
Yeah, like the outliers, aren't there?
Yeah. So I wasn't mean like half-assed, as in like Deck trains half-assed. I mean like before that comes on. I just mean like obviously he goes on nights out and such, and not like I'm lucky if I get 2 or 3 nights out in a year.
Yeah. Whereas he'll do 2 or 3 in a month.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we'll take that back Deck here.
We'll edit that out. So what does a typical training week look like for you?
My training just follows a 2-in-1 off routine no matter what the day is. So I'll just constantly go with, so I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. I'm sure it's like a back and posterior day, then a chest and tries, then I'll have a day off. This is just over the course of a week. Day off, then it'll be shoulders and buys, and then I'm sure it's a back again. Then we do chest delts, then it's legs, then arms. But obviously 2-in-1 off non-stop.
What does 2-in-1 off mean?
So I'll train for 2 days, I'll have 1 day rest.
And is it just 1 session a day?
Yeah. So no matter if it falls on a Saturday, Sunday, I'm coming in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And how long's a session typically?
An hour 15, hour and a half or something.
Also not insane.
Not like stupidly long. No, unless James is in, then.
Yeah, you're talking for most of it. Yeah. I honestly thought it would be hours, like 2 or 3 hours at a time.
No. It's like about an hour and a half to push.
Again, if I watch like an Arnie documentary, something like that, them guys would be in from.
Well, I think a lot of that's outdated now. If you look at it.
Yeah.
Like you listen to them, they talk about they train for 2 or 3 hours, and then they'll go back at night and train for another 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. And then sometimes you probably think actually what you're probably doing is just not recovering.
Nah, you don't.
Like the old principle is like you can only train as hard as you can recover.
Yeah.
So if you're not recovering properly, it's pointless what you're doing in the gym. Which I think
100%.
a lot of people don't get that.
No.
They don't understand
They'll
that.
try and, like I say, some people do it for like a bit of psychological thing, but they'll train 6-7 days a week and then wonder why now it's happening.
Yeah. And then also why a month down the road they're absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
You say about how you started out and your obsession with it and like the dedication. How hard are you on yourself? Like when was the last time you missed a session?
So when it comes to off season and such, I'm a bit lenient, obviously with kids and such. So I will have a takeaway, I will eat chocolate and shit. But when it comes to like prep, I don't.
Once you dialed in,
I don't miss a beat. I won't miss my cardio. I won't miss my meals. I won't miss a session. I becomes like laser focused.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just an accessory at that point.
Yeah, but I mean,
selfish as it sounds.
But that's elite performance, isn't it? Everyone else in that room on that day, you're probably thinking they're doing the same thing. So, yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Somebody down country might be training harder than us.
Yeah, and you are, like we were just saying that before, like you are a top level in the country bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And you can't afford to half-ass it.
That's the way I look at it, because somebody else might be not half-assing it.
Well, they're not, are they? They're absolutely not, yeah. And that's comp in any factor. I remember when I used to compete, one of my things that would go into my head was who's doing more than me.
Yeah.
Or who's, not that I wouldn't, Instagram and that wasn't really a thing then, but I wouldn't go onto the Insta and like start looking at a competitor. Like if I was going to a competition and I saw some fella from Spain or whatever, like what's he squatting or what's he Olympic lifting or what's his Fran time or whatever. Is that something that you fall into, or do you just like when you say I'm laser focused, it's just whatever I'm doing?
I think it's different with bodybuilding because you can't, no matter what they look like on Instagram, it's what they look like on the day. They can't change it on the day now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's what you've done for your whole prep. It's how you look on the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like CrossFit Strongman is your performance beats their performance, you win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's what I've done for the 4 month prior.
Not what's on the
Not what's on the day. Like obviously,
like
posing can help and all that when you're on stage to have a little bit of advantage, but.
Don't you think as well in bodybuilding some shows can be a bit controversial because it is opinion based at the end of the day, like you're saying?
That's what I don't like about it. It's subjective as well.
Well, I was going to ask that as well. How does winning in bodybuilding how do you win that competition? What entailed into that?
Also, you've got to bring a mixture between size, condition, proportion, and symmetry.
Yeah.
And whoever meets the criteria the best wins towards someone's objective opinion.
And size is how big you are?
How big, yeah. Again, it doesn't always win because I beat people that are 3-4 stone heavier than us.
Yeah.
But
they don't have the symmetry.
Yeah,
or
they
the
don't have the
leanness
symmetry or the condition or like the balance.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I don't like. It is a subjective sport.
And how do bodybuilding try and make that less subjective? Like, what's the criteria that people need to fall into in order to be? He looks like a Mr. Olympia, for example.
Some federations have weight classes and such, if you mean that.
I agree. I think most sports should be in a weight class because if you're next to somebody who's 6'6" and 22 stone of muscle, like.
So there is some, so the one I've got my pro card for, that doesn't have a thing.
That's
when you're pro, it's just all the pros against each other.
Yeah.
So the last lad I was against, he was 6'5", I don't know what on stage, maybe 17, 18 stone.
Yeah.
But there are other federations where it's like the lightweight, heavyweight, middleweight, such and such.
Yeah.
So that evens it out a bit more.
And then does some of it go into some guys look great but they cannot pose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen it where people use the term like they'll be an Instagram bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But as soon as they're on stage, you look like shit.
Do they not know how to do a routine or?
Yeah,
because I'm assuming that's a big part of it. Really, it's like you do all the work in the gym, but I need to have a polished routine when I go on the stage.
I suppose like when you're in the gym, like to everyone else, you'll look class. When you're on stage against people that are like complete and everything flows, so like that lat ties into the waist, ties into the quad. If somebody just looks like a load of body parts through together and they can't pose, but they're big, they're going to get beat.
Yeah.
Even if somebody else, like, nice taper and such.
Would you say that comes with experience as well, the posing part of it? Because I imagine that's probably like the fine-tuning, isn't it? All the hard work's done outside the gym and in the gym. And then on the day, you've got to go through your routine, say. So would you say like people who are maybe stepping on stage for the first few times, they maybe neglect that a little bit and think, I'll be fine?
They don't feel like it's a serious hard, like, it doesn't look hard, but it's one of the most taxing things I've done, trying to pose on stage. Especially when you're all stood there and the judges call you out.
Dehydrated, no food, like,
And you're trying to tense every muscle, but make it look effortless. And so you're shaking and you don't want to shake because the judges will be like, they'll call it like, kind of get called out for it.
Oh, so that's a thing. Like you're trying to flex as hard as you can, but not look.
Not look like it. You've got to make it look effortless.
I thought you just go full tilt.
Eyeballs popping up.
Yeah.
You've got to make it look like seamless.
So once you've competed, as like obviously all the hard work's done in the gym. You're looking mint on stage. You've done your routine. And then you're waiting for your numbers to be called. What's going through your mind then?
Well, you're waiting to be called like where your place is.
Yeah. But
I don't look up most of the time. I'll just keep my head down. Yeah. And then if it's my number, then it's my number. But I don't like looking up or anything. Yeah. Because again, it's such a subjective thing. So
it is a little bit.
You don't know who's going to get called.
And there is a little bit of that execute under pressure, but also like you're there, and somebody might walk in front of you, their number's been called, and you're like, he doesn't look as good as me.
Yeah.
But again, that's your opinion going into that as well.
Yeah, there's been plenty of times where that's happened.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You look back on, you can look back on photos and be like, how did he beat me? Yeah. But like I say, it is.
How do you pick yourself up from that kind of kick in the dick, basically, isn't it? Because like you've done 6 months of prep. 99% of the people in the room maybe, again, like would say you look better than him, but they've won. How do you then be like, I'm going to have to do this again? And it might not fall the way it should because
you've just got to kind of
such and such said so. Leave that behind. That's just noise that you can't really control.
You just got to make it so the judge have no other option to choose you next time.
I suppose that's a good way of looking at it.
You know what I mean? So I will become the leanest, I'll become the biggest, I'll become everything. Like, they cannot not give it to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there anyone you'd like to compete against?
No, I don't really care who gets on stage. No, honestly, I've never really
back yourself against anyone.
Yeah. As soon as I'm on stage, like, my confidence just goes through the roof.
There was a post with a high roxer, Charlie, what was it, Bothill or something like that. And 2 years ago, I think it was like at a seminar with Hunter McIntyre and somebody else. and like they're his heroes, and then
He's racing
he's
against
just
them?
racing against them, and it's like
That's when your idols become your rivals.
Yeah, that was his post.
I used to find that when I was playing rugby, I used to like playing against somebody who I knew probably was better than me.
Yeah.
Because I used to find that it would pull my game up a little bit, because you'd have to be like, well, he's better than me, so if I'm not on my game, I'm gonna look stupid.
Yeah.
So that's quite, but again, that's a little bit of a different thing, because there's an outcome to it, I suppose. Like there's a score or a thing that you go through. But I always used to find that would help me.
I probably know it feels better as well if you were victorious, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I love the underdog story. Yeah.
Look how many games of say football, rugby have we played over the years where you maybe smashing a team 9-10-0. It's like fun at first, but then it starts to just if you beat a really good team at last minute, say 4-3 or an exciting game like that.
They're the ones, aren't they? They're the ones that you remember as well.
Right.
And do you find that when you go to a comp now, will you only go to, I'm taking you're done with like local shows a little bit,
yeah.
You're more the British champs or
So I'll be doing like either pro shows in the federation right now, or I'm going to try and get like my IFBB pro card.
Which is the next one?
Which is the next step up. Well, yeah. It's the one like that will lead you to the Olympia.
Right.
If you can get that far.
Is that a goal?
That's a goal, yeah.
Yeah?
The end goal. Just there's the Open Olympia, then there's the 212 Olympia. Like I haven't got the genetics for the Open, but for the 212, I think I could get on it, which is £212.
Right. So you've got to be. So there is a weight class for that.
Yeah. In the Mr. Olympia, so there's loads of different classes. So you've got like your Open class, your 212 class, your classic physique, your men's physique.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 212 is like a realistic goal.
The timeline for it? Do you have a?
Within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what, if you don't mind me asking, what would that put you at age-wise?
36.
All right, so
Just look like I've had a hard paper round.
haven't we all? Haven't we all? Yeah. Which leads me on to my next question, really, which was: is there something, and you probably touched on this already, is there something in bodybuilding that you would like to see change? I know you mentioned the weight class there, how subjective it is. Is there something in there where you would be like, I think the sport, in order to evolve, needs to get to here?
Yeah. The judging needs there needs to be a fine. Like years ago, there used to be like it was size, symmetry, or not such and such. So there needs to be like definitive things that you hit or you nail. Then that's what you're awarded on.
Which I would think like you should have. Like
you would assume so.
Yeah.
But I've seen people that just because some guy's crazily conditioned beats some guy who's like flows really well but not as conditioned.
Yeah.
Again, so it's whoever, like subjective, whatever you choose is on that day.
So you just like to see a better set of guidelines in terms of here's the criteria that you need to hit, and if you tick all these boxes.
Yeah. What else would be? Not so many people know this, but the posing rounds aren't scored or anything. So years ago they used to be scored. So if you came up with a good choreographed routine,
you would get points.
You would get points for it because like you put hours hours outside of the gym into posing, but now it's not. So you can just go in, fire a few more musculars.
What's the point in having that round then if it's not scored?
Entertainment purposes, you know what I mean? To showcase what some of your better poses, but you don't get awarded for it.
So is that always at the end as well?
Most of the time you'll do your mandatories, then you'll all come out for your individual posing rounds, which is just a minute of you freestyle posing to some music.
It's like playing football for 15 minutes for no.
It basically is,
result.
And you don't get rewarded for it. So years ago I used to choreograph everything. I'll find a song, I'll try and pose to it, so the beat falls, and now I'll put a song on and I'll just wing some posing. You're like, what's
the point? Yeah. I might as well save myself for the other bits.
Yeah.
I don't put any pressure on that and just.
It's like obviously people like seeing a good posing routine, but there's no reason for you to waste time on doing one.
And here's one for you, which is, what would you tell somebody who's starting out in bodybuilding? Like a couple of bits of advice that you would say to somebody, a lesson that you've learned, or something that you wish that you don't what?
Don't get into it.
Do something else.
Do something else.
Or if you can't say that, you know.
A couple of bits of advice.
Something that you would maybe tell yourself when you were a little bit younger, or like something that you've learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Prioritise food. Food.
Overtraining, or yeah.
Because I've always trained very, very like aggressively, and my food used to be shit. Like,
so what you're saying, our pizza diet wouldn't get us there, because we eat a lot of pizza.
I used to have like battered fish and super noodles and think, that's a good meal.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, you don't get anything from it. So if you're going to do bodybuilding, prioritise your food over the majority of your stuff.
And how far in do you go to that? Because I remember the meme guy who was Fish
a fish and rice cake.
Yeah.
Just like quality food, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So quality meats, quality carbs and such as like pastas and rices and all that. But I just don't eat shit.
And do you track everything all the time when you're on? When I'm
prepping?
Yeah.
Yeah. To the gram. Yeah.
Oils? Like
Yeah, honestly, anything that goes in my body will be tracked. From like water to food to salt.
Even salt?
Even salt, We've even got a salt dispenser from Engineer Muscle. Knocks out 0.5 gram of salt each knock.
Again, like it's stuff that you would never...
No.
No, I mean, I don't even know how much salt is in my pizza that I had last night. Yeah. A lot, I think. Yeah.
Probably enjoyed this, to be fair.
You are.
Oh, it's dead interesting. I think that's mad about salt. Oh no, it's too much. I fucking throw it out.
Honestly, there's time I've done that. Like,
What, you put too much salt in?
too much salt on, you've had to like pull it off your food or something.
So one thing I was going to ask is, you competing at the level you do,
Yeah.
some people might say that's not necessarily the healthiest thing, potentially for your body and longevity. So how do you maybe manage the effects of that, or even like from a mental point of view?
Oh, well, obviously, I manage it the best I can with like terms of supplements and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, yeah, you got your organ defending stuff like liver, kidney, heart, shit like that.
Oh, so you'll take things that'll offset.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
I
get on this, ain't you?
I do
take some notes here.
I do text, like, even though my blood pressure isn't massive, but I do text stuff to like lower blood pressure, stuff that...
Statins and things like that? Or?
Yeah, so that's what I would say. Anything that kind of abuse my body with.
Yeah, which you have to, again, because that's the game.
I'm always checking something to counteract it, to mitigate as much health risks as I can.
Do you do it knowingly, like you go into this knowing that?
Oh yeah, like I know the health risks that come with it.
Yeah, what's the common things that you see, like the health risks that come into the sport of bodybuilding?
Oh, you get like obviously even like small, like say the minor things like hair loss and such like that.
Yeah.
I know that comes with it. Obviously you get organ damage and such. But it's just part of the...
I mean, all sports, I would say this to people, like any sport that you do, eventually you know that you're at the top level, you're leaving behind a health factor and you are going into the other side of it, which is, if you look at like a sickness, wellness spectrum, when somebody's sick, you know, like they have type 2 diabetes, cardiac disease, overweight, so metabolic syndrome, and then as they go towards health, like you lose all them things and you become that healthy person. But then on the other side of that, when you've got elite sport, it's training injuries in rugby and such, it's concussion issues and head trauma. Same with football, in terms of head in a football, especially like going back to the other days, and then you got your knee problems and everything else. So do you have that chat with family and home life and everything else, or did you just get left to it and be like?
No, I don't. Obviously, I've been lectured on the health things like in the years' time and all that, but.
Does bodybuilding, the not the company, but the industry, do they ever put out information about these, or is it just never talked about?
It's kind of hush-hush, but you will get... There'll be, like I say, there's a lot of good coaches out there that fire information out now that, like, that will help you out.
Should be talked about.
Yeah. Like I said, my coach is absolutely on the money, so I'll get my blood work and all that done. Get a test, I'll send it over to him, he'll read it through, like, right, this needs sorted. And he won't put us on a prep if my health markers are out of range. So if everything's all skewed and tits up, he'll be like, right, we're going to do it a few more weeks, take these, like, do you know what I mean, these supplements.
How good is that though, that somebody else is making that decision for you? Because as an elite performer, like I remember, like, if I had like a head knock, I'd want to play.
Yeah.
But it should be the doctor's decision, or in terms of the coach's decision, whether you can or not.
Yeah.
Do that for that reason, which is you'll always say, like, I'll do it, like I want to win, I want to be the best, I'll sacrifice my body, but actually somebody else saying,
he can pull the thing on you. No, actually, I trust my coach rather than the doctor. You know what I mean? Like I've been with him a good few years now, and he's always had my best interests.
Who's your coach?
He's called Martin Winston, like one of the top like coaches in the country at the minute.
Where's he from? Where's he based?
Plymouth.
So that's a hell of a trip if you go on. I take it it's all done online? And
it's all online. Obviously, when I'm competing, like he'll drive around all over the spot. We went to Spain. We went to Spain with him and to compete.
Which is the other thing that we were going to ask you as well, is do you lean a lot into the supplements? If I speak to James, and I know James is like he does all the supplement work, but he's very this creatine over this creatine.
I think as long as you take a creatine monohydrate, they're all kind of similar, I think.
I think it's great stuff, creatine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like the fact that more people don't take it more often blows my mind.
It should be.
Everyone should be taking it. Mum and Dad should be taking it because it's one of the few things that passes the blood-brain barrier as well. So
it helps with like cognitive and all that.
It's magic dust, yeah.
As well, I suppose, when you're doing it to this level, and you just touched on it before, the other things you're taking to sort of counteract. If you've got probably too much to think about, and obviously there's all these different, I mean, everyone's seen the supplement market, all the different products. If you had like all that to think about, and like, I'm going to get that because that's new, and you could probably like really overcomplicate it. Going down that route.
There's a couple of brands like I do, like Engineer Muscle, anything that he puts out, I trust, because he's like, if you ever listen to him or watch him talk and such, he's a down-to-earth guy, and he does it for the love of bodybuilding. He does it for the love of bodybuilding. There's a reason why his stuff tastes like shit. You know what I mean? He does it full of sweetness and all that.
There'll be, again, like we talked about this the other week, but there'll be gyms out there that just want to make money.
Yeah.
That's all they're interested in. Whereas there are other gyms like I want to enjoy my training, I'll be around it, like it's my outlet as well.
Yeah.
And then there's people like that. There'll be supplement companies out there that's like, all that matters at the end of the day is the bottom line, how much we can sell this for and how much margin we get on it. And then you've got probably the smaller ones who get into it because no, actually that is a bag of shite. Like I want to try and make something that is even if my margin's not as good, but I'm going to try and put something out there.
Being authentic actually leads to better.
It's getting there now, isn't it? I think people see that massively now in any walk is being authentic, genuine, and probably be seen to be doing a good job for the right reasons. People buy into that more now than.
Definitely pays off long term if you start off with the best interests at heart.
Yeah. Into CrossFit being sold. I know that doesn't really tie into Daz, but we need to, it's big news, big waves.
What do you mean it's been sold already? Was it a Reebok, was it?
Yeah, so CrossFit was originally owned by, I don't know how much we can talk about, we'll get a cease and desist letter next week, that's how bad they are. CrossFit was originally owned by a bloke called Greg Glassman, who was basically like just a guy who ran a bit of a gym in his garage, and then one day he went absolutely polar opposite to the industry norm. So like he went away from like down things like in gyms they have mirrors. So CrossFit was very like anti-mirror. You don't need a lot of kit. All you really need is a barbell, a rig, and some rings. So it was real like minimalist, like almost the purest form of just like classic strength and conditioning training. Gymnastic background. So that's why you see all these crazy pull-ups and. Which again is the polar opposite to bodybuilding, because a CrossFit pull-up is how easy can I make it, whereas in bodybuilding it's like how isolated can I make the back or whatever it is that I need to work. So it was originally owned by this guy called Greg Glassman, and then he put out a stupid tweet, which back in the days where tweeting could get you sacked. Bearing in mind this business is like $2 billion business, massive. Had 15,000 affiliates around the world, which is, I think at one time there was more affiliates than Starbucks, which is crazy, isn't it? That's crazy to think about. It was all back in the time of COVID when, I can't remember his name, was it George Floyd? Remember him, the guy who got killed by the police officer in America, and there was all the riots, which I think was just people had enough of whatever was going on anyways. And he'd put out a tweet, I can't really remember the angle of the tweet. It was to tie in COVID and what he'd done. It was like Floyd 19 or something, which now looking back was nothing to nothing, but that was it. Like it erupted, it got shared everywhere, and then stuff started coming out of the woodwork about him being a bit promiscuous and not always professional at work. Again, like I don't know how much we can say, because I've had it before where CrossFit have sent me letters to my gym basically like you can't do that. Yeah, oh, mate, they're mad. They got so far away from the business. They were just more about protecting the brand all the time, and that's where I think they lost a lot of gyms. They lost a lot of gyms in that it wasn't necessarily about what they'd lost the message of. CrossFit was always this idea of being healthy, like, you know, try and cut down, and probably too much either way, cut down on processed foods, train more, get off the sofa, basically was kind of the original message. And then all they ended up doing in the end was just going after gyms that would like say something remotely similar to CrossFit, like, and then send them a letter I remember like back when I de-affiliated eventually, I did Gym in Egremont and we took it. I remember we got our Christmas card on the 15th of January and it didn't even have anything in it, it just said Merry Christmas. And it was like, these lot don't really give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? You're paying all this money every year. They're not bothered about what they see in the trenches.
Trying to gatekeep it.
Yeah, exactly that, trying to gatekeep it, yeah. So anyway, so it got sold back then, he basically was privately owned by Greg Glassman and his wife, and then it got sold to some like techie guy. I can't remember his name now. I should have really like dug it up. He bought it on for a lot of money. I'm assuming that he's quickly realised that it isn't all gravy and it's actually really hard work, and it's probably as well toxic. Like, I've found that in the world of CrossFit, there's a massive ego that is in and around it, and there are some, I'm going to say it, there are some not great people in and around the company, probably. There are some not great people in and around the affiliate model as well, like the people who tend to run the gyms, and it just makes for a really harsh industry to be a part of and be around. And there are some great gyms out there doing great work, but also I would say on the other side of it, there are some that are dangerous. Because like, here's the thing with CrossFit that people don't know as well is, in order for you to open a CrossFit gym, all you have to do is go on a weekend course. Do a weekend course, learn how to do a PVC pipe thruster, a PVC pipe back squat, and an ab mat sit up. And then on Monday morning, once you've got your trainer, coach, or badge, or whatever it is that comes through, I can open a gym and I can start teaching people how to do a snatch or a clean and jerk. And do you know what I mean? It's a wacky system at times, in terms of, here's your heart rate, 180 beats a minute. You're going to go and do a load of handstand push-ups, which compresses the neck, and you're going to go and do a load of snatches at 60 kilos, which...
All that weight in the air above
yeah,
your head.
any strength and conditioning coach would tell you, like, if you're wanting to get somebody healthy, what you're fucking not doing is tell them to do handstand push-ups and snatches with a max heart rate. Like, you just want people to squat better, go and sit on a bike, walk more, run more. So it's a real murky world, because there's people who've never known anything else, and that's what they hang their hat on, and they lean into CrossFit too much. And then there's maybe the people who've maybe been a bit on the outside and have started to think, actually, some of it doesn't stack up. It's not the Kool-Aid that people think it is. And then you've got things that are getting into the space as well, like high rocks, which is
PE.
but isn't it great? Because it's all the good things from CrossFit, in terms of you get to be a competitive trainer. You know, it's like you say, competitive PE at the end of the day, but it doesn't have the stupidness of it, which it doesn't have the high level, clean and jerks at heavy weight and the deadlifts, and it's as long as you can you don't even need to run. I remember my last High Rocks in Oslo, there was a couple who were just walking around the outside. So as long as you can largely walk or run, you're having a go at it. Yeah, and so the barrier to entry to it is down here, where there's a CrossFit barrier to entry for most people is up there, and that's the fundamental difference between the two. And I think that's where CrossFit probably are going to get very nervous, because you've got a thing that is it's got a really good, polished, finished product that is only ever going on the way up. Like, and I think now London's doing a full week of High Roxes, so London next year has 7 days. Like, they've sold out 7 days back to back to back to back.
Do you think, because of how public the CrossFit Games became, with the sort of documentaries on Netflix and all that was almost everyone's like comparable point of CrossFit? Like, it was, for someone who doesn't do CrossFit or never been around a CrossFit box, they could watch it on Netflix and they'll be like watching the top level people at CrossFit, and they'll be thinking,
that's where the affiliate should have done a better job of being like, that isn't CrossFit for us, that's the sport. It's the same as like watching American football, and right lads, let's pad up and let's go and have a dig at this. They are two different things. Like, we always try and tell people, CrossFit the sport and CrossFit the methodology are not the same thing. Like, you've got guys there who can run a 5k in 16.5 minutes, and they can also deadlift 300 kilos, 250 kilos. Like, they are insanely weapons. Are they clean? And some of them have been busted and rumbled, so there's that discrepancy in it. But I think, like, I always thought that's where CrossFit lost a big chunk of its audience, which was it demonised the CrossFit Games for a lot of years. It went against it. It chopped the regionals things, which was the thing that a lot of people like. So like you're saying there, I want to get to the Arnold 212.
The Olympia.
Yeah, so the Olympia 212, which is the pinnacle of the sport, really, isn't it? In and around there. But there's steps to get there. So in CrossFit, there was steps in order to get to the CrossFit Games. All right, not everyone's making the CrossFit Games, because only 50, 60 athletes go from male and female classes. But there was a regional in Europe, there was a regional in Asia, there was a regional in North America, South America. So there was, it gave people like a participation pathway. Yeah. And then they started chopping and changing all that, and it went to these things called sanctionals and other things. And I think that got a lot of people, once you lose the pinnacle of it, the grassroots maybe doesn't grow as much a little bit as well. Like we all play football and rugby because we love the idea of the Premiership and those things, and the same with we get into bodybuilding because we see the top guys on stage, and it's like you need something to aspire to. And they were like, no, you can't have that. Like, we're going to just focus on CrossFit. Like they say again, they try to separate it too much, the sport and the methodology. And CrossFit try to dictate that rather than the affiliate, which I think is where they lost a lot of people. It should have been left and trusted to the affiliate to be like, no, we teach health and fitness. If you want to do the sport, maybe go and find a private coach and do it that way, yeah. And I think that's where probably High Rocks is got a leapfrog on that, because they know that they'll have seen all the mistakes that CrossFit have done, and they'll be like, we're going to avoid that, we're not going to do that, we're going to try and keep it this way. Even down to what I think's nice at the minute about High Rocks is they haven't changed anything yet. It's still the same for same. Yeah. Because I think they're still trying to figure out how it can grow by just being a good finished product at the end.
I think because it's the same event all the time as well.
You know what you're doing, you know what you sign up for, you know what you can train.
If you're crap at sandbag lunges, you can go in the gym and be doing split squats or whatever to like really fine tune that. So there's probably a lot more opportunities to get stronger in certain.
And that's where actually bodybuilding and CrossFit maybe are similar, because sometimes you can go to one event and it can be so wacky, like it's almost like circus stuff. Like I look at some of it, especially going back a few years ago, it stopped being a fitness competition and it did lean a little bit into like who's the best at the circus acts, whereas the same with bodybuilding sometimes it's like, hold on, like are we all looking at the same thing here? Like we just want, I think, and again any athlete would probably just want, I just want standards, and I just want to know that I can hit those standards and go through. Yeah, that's where probably they align a little bit. But it's going to be a tricky few years for CrossFit, because it's actually been bought by the guy who used to own 24 Hour Fitness in America, which is like, it's like Pure Gym. Yeah. So I'm assuming all he's interested in is
the monetary gain of it.
Yeah, so it's like what we were saying there, which is it's not necessarily about you own a gym because you have the passion behind the business and you want to see it do well. Like the last owner of CrossFit, he was an affiliate owner. He just managed to make it really well in the business world as well. So he had that thing of like, I'm going to get it back to its great days, which 2015, 2016.
Yeah, it's best interests at heart by the sound of it.
Absolutely right, and he's probably realised, well, actually, like it's bleeding me dry. I need to unload it because I'm obviously going to lose the lifestyle that I'm maybe accustomed to, or I haven't got the energy for it. But now it's been bought by this Pure Gym model, who are probably just going to be like, how much money can we squeeze? If I was an affiliate owner now, I'd be really nervous. I'd be like, it's changed again. How does it look for my business? I said to you the other day, I think some CrossFit gyms lean so hard into CrossFit because if you take the name off the door, and not all of them, it's just a shit gym. Like it's just a room with a couple of broken rowers, a couple of barbells in the corner, not great coaching because all they've done is gone on a weekend course. Like, so they're probably like, they hang their hat on that being their point of difference rather than backing their own product and their own industry a little bit of what they know. But if I was an affiliate owner now, I'd be like, what's next? Because we've had a few really ropey years. I don't know what's coming from it. I don't know what's going to happen. And are these lot just going to up the affiliate price again? Are we going to get less for our money?
It has dropped off a bit. Well, I don't know much about it, but it's dropped off since High Rocks came on the ball.
Oh, they've took a massive chunk out of the market. And again, like for good reason. So we like High Rocks is because it agrees with our body. Yeah. I'm not at a CrossFit competition from 8 in the morning till 7 at night. I remember me and my twin went to one in France years ago and it ran 4 hours behind. So our first event was at 7 in the morning and our last event was 10 at night, and you were there all day. And like, that's not what people want anymore from their sport or their enjoyment or their hobby. It's like, great thing about High Rocks is I'm on at 8 and all going well, I might be out by just after 9 o'clock, or it goes really bad, I'm maybe out at like 9:30 as you go through. So You know what I mean? You know when you start, you know when you end, you know what you're getting, you know what the stations are as you go through, and it probably relieves a little bit of that performance anxiety from people.
Yeah.
But yeah, CrossFit's gone from I think 15,000 affiliates down to about 8 now, so it's lost half of its income.
It's a big drop in it.
And then the Open last year, I think the Open was the lowest. So the Open is like it's how you get to the CrossFit Games. So it's just everyone participates, which is a great community aspect. And they should have kept that as much as possible. So they chopped it from 6 weeks down to 3, which they shouldn't have done. They should have kept it at 6 weeks and backed it, made it a real focal point for the year, a real point of difference. And they've chopped it to 3. And I think last year they had the lowest attendance since before COVID. So even down to when it was probably still on its growing. So who knows? Like it's going to be I think it's going to be an interesting year for High Rocks because they've probably got a big 12 months ahead of them now in terms of how much more can we bite out of CrossFit while they're again changing hands, new direction, new ownership. What's it going to look like? They're probably just trying to stay afloat a little bit CrossFit, whereas High Rocks is maybe thinking actually we can
capitalise on it.
Yeah, another big dig into this. Yeah. Right. So we all train for different things. Like we've got a bodybuilder in the room. We've got a couple of guys who probably lean more towards just competition, but more performance side. When Wilkie's back, it isn't backing. I would say from the outside, I look at your training and you just enjoy it for the purest form of what it is, which is it's good for you. You dial your nutrition, you keep nutrition relatively in check. But I would also say there's maybe for you there isn't that performance outlet like this. I'm working towards something. I love seeing what my body can do.
Yeah, I mean, from the very first time I started training, it was what I maybe just sometimes describe as like generic gym training, where it was like upper, lower days, push, pull, legs, that type of stuff. And I've kind of just kept with that for the duration, other than I've had little dabbles with like calisthenics with Nath and stuff. And I don't mind classes as well. The main, when I'm really on it, I'm happy training like 4 or 5 days a week. And I'll split that to, like say, push-pull legs and maybe a full body day. I don't always have I'm definitely doing chest on a Monday or chest and shoulders. I kind of like training with the odd different people as well. So if someone says fancy doing a session, I'm like, I'm up for
whatever it is,
But I do like, whatever I'm doing, I do like to push myself, I suppose, not to the max, but I'll go to the sessions and I do push myself hard.
Is it in the used to the same? When they say if you're training legs, it's nice to have somebody training with you on them sort of days rather than just on your own. Even just for that side of misery loves company.
Definitely for legs, it just helps with that mentality.
It's easy, just having that accountability, that knowing that there's somebody in the gym there and you're going to meet them. It's the reason to get through the door.
I'm not fine well myself on legs. Sometimes you will. As much as you don't want to admit it, you will not push yourself as hard as you possibly could if somebody was there.
I was in a workout the other day and it was like a 4-round workout and I got to 3.5 and I looked around, there was fucking nobody in here and I thought, fuck it, I'm done. And that's the harsh reality, where if Nathan was next to me and I was giggling at Nathan or he was doing a few thrusters, I'd keep going, do you know what I mean? It's just having that person in the room just to give you that 2%, 3% that you need.
I mean, I like sometimes as well, if you're training with somebody and because I train with deck quite a lot as well, for example, so that's like an extreme example of some kinds of weights he would push. But if I see him and he's maybe on it and he's then right at the top end of his weight capacity of what he lifts, and I've maybe almost in my head talked myself out of what I'm going to do in the next set, thinking I'm going to go down to that. Next thing, you find yourself going the extra as well, just following suit.
Because he's put the weight on and he's you're doing this.
So, I'm going to so there's definitely that aspect of it. But again, I like training on my own sometimes as well, just putting my headphones on.
You're having this crap, weren't we?
Putting some kind of ridiculous soundtracks on that you would never play in the gym. And just almost going to a dark place. I sometimes just like doing that. I like a good mix with it, really. It's
a lot to be said, isn't there, for just sometimes having an hour to yourself, being left alone and just switching off a little bit from wherever that is. And it's a weird, the gym, this is I wouldn't know many gyms like this where you have such an eclectic mix of people. We've got professional, high-level professional bodybuilders in there. We've got High Rocksers, CrossFitters,
runners.
Yeah.
Like it is a melting pot of
gym goers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, people who just people who are just going to go in because they want to lose a bit of weight or look a bit better.
Newbies as well, starting off from scratch, like.
And it's a strange. You don't get that in many. Like normally, you go to like a TEDS or something.
Yeah, it's got its click. Like,
it's got its click, and that's something that I noticed and I picked up in here straight away. Like anyone will talk to anyone.
Yeah. My best description of it, it's like being out in town and being in a pub, massive pub, and you see someone you haven't seen for ages, like, no, there's
yeah.
You go over having a crack and you'll see someone else. Oh, how long you been training here?
It can be like a bit of a social outlet for people here.
That's the uniqueness of that main gym, isn't it? Is they're not rooms.
Like it's the open
just
pad.
You walk in and before you know it, like there's somebody that you've clocked over there as you go through.
Yeah, I've always liked that aspect. Just the openness.
But it's a again, tell me another gym where you have that melting pot of people, where you have the bodybuilder in there and the runner training next to each other. Like it's trippy.
All trained hard in their own aspect,
Exactly, yeah. That's a fair. I've never even looked at it like that. Everyone's working their absolute tits off for different end things. And do you know what as well? It might be nice sometimes if you sometimes maybe go into just a bodybuilding gym, for example. You may be looking at the person next to you and like, oh, what are they doing? Or like, they look bigger than me or better. But if you're training in the
Daz
gym...
doesn't think that.
No, well, but there'll be somebody training next to Daz who's thinking, I need to fucking get on that machine after him. But if you're training next to somebody who is, like I say, he's just I'm a CrossFitter and I'm doing some squats next to your hack squat or whatever it is, like I'm not really comparing, but it's just nice to have somebody...
there, is there?
No, but it's nice to have somebody there and like you can admire it still, can't you? Like I watch you put like 10 plates on either side of that pendulum squat and I'm like,
you can appreciate
that'd mush me to bits, I'd be somebody'd have to pull me out the bottom of it.
I understand. Think you watch somebody run on the treadmill, I'm like, I wish I could do that as well.
Yeah, like that far, that guy's running a 3.5k, 3.5 minute 1k, like I think we'd have to put you in the car, like, but you know what I mean, like it's to get there. And I look at some of I would never be. We always make a joke about them 70 kilo dumbbells at the top of the room. Like I'm like, I don't think I could get it off the rack. But then I watch some of you and you're rowing it or pressing it.
Yeah.
We normally do these lead-ins to basically just a bit of crack. Which is me and Nath were talking about this yesterday, which is if you could invite 2 or 3 people to your what are you making for them, what you're cooking, I suppose we'll go with that. And then if you could invite 2 or 3 people to your Daz's dinner party,
Ooh.
Who are you inviting, what are you making and why are you inviting them?
Who are you inviting and what you're making?
Chicken, rice and broccoli.
I don't even know.
Half a gram of salt. Get it up. Yeah. Wash it down with some
Off-season,
water.
I just have greens powder now. Can't be asked with broccoli.
The famous Dead or Alive.
Arnie, would he not be there, like, around the table?
I used to think that, but then nowadays he's such a sellout.
Is he?
Aye. Well, they went into all of you see, I think Game Changers on, what's it called, Netflix?
No.
Started promoting veganism and all this stuff, and being a vegetarian. And I was like, if you didn't eat meat, you wouldn't even have a career.
Yeah, do you know what as well? This is something that I struggle with at times, which is people who sell you what would I call it? Yeah, sell you like a lifestyle, like a culture with your food or whatever it is. And it's actually like, well, when you were in your best shape, you were probably eating carbohydrates and you were probably eating a bit of this and you were probably having a bit of that. And it's like, the vegans probably got like fuck all to do with it really. It's like when that, do you remember when that Netflix documentary came out, which was about how meat is basically bad for performance? I can't remember what it was called, years ago. And they were talking about like how like if you eat chicken it'll do this to your blood and that. But what actually people didn't realise was the documentary was paid for and supplied by a vegan protein company. And it's like, you fucking, like, you know what I mean, you cheeky bastards.
It's similar with like, the bodybuilders nowadays who end up like stop bodybuilding, they'll all slate bodybuilding. Don't take this, don't take that, it ruins your life, takes years off your life. I'm like, you wouldn't have a platform.
No, you wouldn't have you wouldn't have your 1.1 million people.
Or like a coaching business or watching like such and such.
Here's a question for you, Daz, actually. So, 5 years' time, you've won the...
Who are you selling out?
what are you selling us? What does life then look like for you?
Me,
I was going to say inside and outside the gym.
I don't know, to have a bit of financial freedom. You know, I don't.
Well, and does that come with the sport at the top end?
You can do with some like obviously sponsorship wise, but obviously the better you do, the better prize money you get, the more you can put into like little businesses you sell. You know what I mean?
Then you get into your own programming and coaching and everything else. Yeah.
So I do it small scale now. I've just got like a few clients, but
it's time consuming, isn't it?
Yeah. But I just wonder. For me, it's more other than monetary. It's just to acknowledge I've done something with my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you've actually got the accolade of being. I couldn't care if I came last in the Miss Olympia, but I got to the Olympia and I'm from working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my goal. Just to have the accolade and say I've actually done something. Yeah. If I had to go back to a 9 to 5 after that, then I don't care. But I've done it.
You've put your chips in.
Yeah.
And you backed yourself.
Someone from working in such a small town has actually been on the big stage.
And you do like it, and that's, I think there's a lot to be said there, isn't it? Is when when you back yourself, you know, and again, we talked about this week one, is somebody might whisper in your ear, like, are you sure you should be doing that, or whatever it is, but it's like, actually, no, I'm fairly nailed on in terms of what my values are and what I want to get out of it, and I am gonna bet on myself, and it takes some, and people will always talk the other way about people like that, and it's like, well, no, actually, you have the fucking minerals to back it up. You back yourself and you put yourself out there. Throughout,
say I couldn't call it a career, but throughout like my bodybuilding, I've had people say I'll never make it, I'll never get pro, I'll never do anything.
Like people are always willing to. I remember, was it Dave Chappelle who used to say the coward will always want the demise of the hero, like, you know what I mean? Like,
they always say they love to see a rise of a king, but they also love to see the fall of a king as well.
Yeah, and I think like West Cumbria is, I don't know why, it has got that culture in it.
It's a small town mentality.
Small town mentality. People don't want to, and again, my mate mentioned it the other day, is trying to wish people not to do well or whatever. It's just a negative effect on you, rather than saying, actually, like, well done having a crack at that. Trying to do a podcast because we want to reach a different audience, try and get into the members, like tell them interesting stories about people that they maybe see train every day, and you get the fucking whopper who will like make a joke of it or whatever, and it's like, just fucking worry about yourself. You know, get on with whatever it is that you're doing.
A lot of envy in this town.
Yeah, it really doesn't, like, it's, but again, maybe you have to edit this bit out because we'll fucking get backlash from it, but fuck 'em. Anyway, so we're going back to dinner guests. If you could have 2 or 3 people, Nate, we were having a chat about this the other day, so I think you need to start on this, mate. Couple of dinner guests, what are you making?
This is a really hard question.
I've got one lined up.
It would be me grandma,
nice.
and she'd have to make us a Sunday dinner.
Oh, so she's cooking.
Yeah, she
there you go. You've two birds, one stone, eh?
We're the best.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's gonna sound shit now. You hit too deep there.
Just you and your grandma. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, it sounds lovely, anyways. Yeah.
Cheers,
I was going to go like the other way. Like, I'd love to have a dinner with Lance Armstrong.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd love to sit down with maybe like a Lance Armstrong, just to get an idea of like how much of a narcissist he was. Yeah, so I'd maybe have to go like a Neil. I've only just got that. Neil Armstrong. Like, so I'd have to like be like a Lance Armstrong, and then I'd maybe like I'd love to sit down with like a fighter, like like an MMA fighter or someone like.
I've got one lined up, a fighter like
Tom Aspinall. I remember him saying that, and I've got this proper trippy when if you get into a scrap or whatever, and you'll probably send your fair share on the doors and that, but it's impulsive, it happens there and then, but to have that attitude of like, no, I'm not going to fight you now, I'll see you in 3 months' time, you're going to get in really good shape, I'm going to get in really good shape, and then we'll fight in front of 10,000 people. To have that confidence in yourself to do that, and at the end of it, it's you and your fists, isn't it, that you're going into a ring and you don't know what's going to happen.
You've got to just dismiss that fight or flight, haven't you? Yeah. It's all just fight.
Telling yourself, like, I'm going to be all right here, like, I'm going to win. So yeah, I'd maybe like a Lance Armstrong, just to find out like how he managed to do what he did in his sport, and the lies that he eventually told, I think are
what would crazy. You cook him? What would you make him?
Probably something with EPO in it. Yeah, maybe just like a saline bag and just like hang it up for him. I'd probably go something dead simple like, well, I don't know, you might be a vegan as well. And I think he is because he's into his Ironmans, isn't he? So I'd make him, I'd make him steak and chips and I'd say, fucking
Just
eat
to take the piss.
Eat or Tom Aspinall's going to fill you in.
I always have like a vision when you get asked them questions, just like a massive table.
Yeah.
With
It's like a Jesus
loads of the
table.
most randomest people. Like when you see lads on stag do's and they've gone fancy dress but there's no theme. It's like Iron Man but then a banana. It's just like loads of just random shit. I always like have these visions, like, because I was thinking there, like Bob Marley would be cool. Just think he's just a fucking dead cool person. Love his music as well. But I also like, do you ever watch The Overlap? With, like Gary Neville and
Roy Keane.
So Roy Keane was one of my favourite players,
Class.
but I just love how like straight-laced he is and calls us.
And he gets away with it, isn't he?
Yeah.
In this day and age.
So like he played a certain way, like just all gung-ho, like hard work, like smashing into people. I love that. And then he's become a character, his punditry and the way he's on podcasts, how he like calls people out. So I think, like, imagine that round a dinner table, like someone says something wrong and he'd be there.
I love his Rory McIlroy story where, like, Rory McIlroy, obviously, like, the world's best, probably one of the world's best golfers. Like, he was in a hotel once and he was only maybe 10, 11 years old and it was on the Overlap, wasn't it? And, like, Rory was, like, working up the courage. He was like, Roy Keane was sitting there having a coffee and he was like, you know, this is my idol. This is, man, he's Irish, like, he plays for my favourite team. Like, I'm going to go and get his autograph. And he went up and he was like, excuse me, you know, Mr. Keane, can I have your autograph? He went, not today, son. Just turned away and he's like, imagine you hero, basically. So, and he went on the interview like years later and said like...
They always say, don't make your heroes, don't they?
Yeah.
I think mine would be a young Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Just for how much of a lunatic he was. And
Yeah.
I think he'd have some good stories. And like, you wouldn't know what to say, you would be terrified to say the wrong thing.
You actually would, wouldn't you?
Especially like that age, yeah.
Didn't he say he was going to...
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Didn't he say he was going to eat someone's kids or something?
Yeah.
Was one of his
And Lennox Lewis. I think he said he was gonna,
Lennox Lewis said that.
I think that's when he was going to, because there was that post-fight interview, wasn't he? He said, I'm coming for you, Lennox.
Gonna eat your kids.
But again, it's one of those where he wasn't, you know, imagine him now being in this day and age. Imagine putting that person in, like, because he's almost like the unpolished version of a Conor McGregor. Like, he got away with, like, cheeky Irish, have a bit of a laugh about it, whereas, you know, he was probably in that mindset of like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, that's and you don't really... Would he have made it in today's boxing world purely for that fact that even though he's an unbelievable, probably one of the best to ever do it, but
Would he be marketable?
Exactly that, and that's like, you see it now, don't you? Like, you see this fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, like a YouTuber. It's like
it's comical, isn't it? Like,
but it is. It's almost like the sport's gone into that sport has gone into a realm of entertainment. So it's crossed into that WWE almost realm, hasn't it?
I think
there's no way they haven't had a chat saying
he's so much money.
Yeah, but also, like, look, you're 6'6" and 20 stone, like, and I'm 5'10" and I've boxed for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, maybe 80%. Like, if you hit me with one of your best.
I think there will be something
There'll
along
be
the
some
line.
kind of script, won't there?
It's
I mean,
gotta
just look
be.
at them when they stood next to each other.
We'll see.
It's
If
like-
it's not a knockout in the first round, it's
scripted.
I think Mike Tyson said that. He goes, these men nowadays are businessmen. I'm sure it's something like, we were killers, these are businessmen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely right, isn't it?
like you look at the 80s and 90s boxers, they were all fighters, like fighting men.
But
Nowadays,
inner city, probably tough lifestyle. Like, Jake Paul doesn't need to go into a boxing ring, does he? He's a multi-millionaire. It's like, why have you still got that mentality of like, I'm going to go in there and prove it? Like, there must be a part of your mind thinking like, I've got a Lamborghini in the drive.
I think it's ego. I
Maybe.
think that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
Well, like taking Tyson on, for example. I know his age he is, but
If he'd have still caught him, like, he'd, take you.
I just think as soon as he's out the limelight, that's when I think that's why he's constantly doing this, just to keep in that limelight. He loves the attention. Jake Paul.
Yeah. Oh, probably. Yeah.
I think he just thrives on it.
And I suppose if you've got loads of people whispering in your ear like you're great,
Aye,
you're going to
loads of
believe it,
yes
aren't
men.
you? Yeah, exactly. Like, we'll get this to work, and then there must be a point where he goes into that ring. And if it hasn't been like, we'll do 80%, but it'll be a bit of a dance. If he's going in there thinking, fucking guy, like, what am I doing?
Do you watch the Face Off? The sheer difference in size.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Physically, he shouldn't be able to win in any way, shape or form. Even if Anthony Joshua just jabbed him out.
He's a gold medalist Olympic boxer.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Well, look at when he knocked Ngannou out. That would be enough to put you off, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That shot. But
Yeah. Good luck to
money
him, man.
talks.
2026 plans, fellas. So maybe have a look at what's the gym's plans, which we've already touched on? Daz, what are your plans in 2026? We'll start there actually. So what's in the calendar for 2026? Maybe training style. What are your goals? Like, what are you leaning towards?
So prep starts in February, I think, just after middle of February. I'm going to try and defend the universe again, win that.
So sorry. So yeah, give us a look, because you have actually already had a bit of success as well, haven't you? So
yeah.
So sorry, give us a bit of crack of what that is, how you come about that, and.
So obviously I got my pro card in 2023, 2024 off. I had surgery, took it off, put it in the plan 2025. I was already a pro then, so I thought this will be my pro debut. I've done the universe, and then won the universe, and then different federation. Went over to Spain to try and get my IFBB card.
Yeah.
And then unluckily came second.
Oh, so you only get only the winner gets the card.
So the winner goes into the overall, and then 3 out of 4 of them got the pro card. So if I'd beat him, I know if I would have got the pro card out with the 4 lads that were there.
So you're right on that cusp, eh?
Yeah.
You know that you are.
That's why I'm more hungrier than ever. Because I know I'm that close.
And do you think you've improved? Have you got better? So you now know that you're in better shape, you're bigger, your symmetry's better.
Yeah, I'm more like refined.
Yeah.
Like last time I ballooned up to like 112 kilo, like fat and thing.
Yeah.
I'm like 106 now, like still like relatively lean as well. Yeah. So I don't have as much to pull off. So.
And you've still got time on your side as well. Yeah. Oh, mate, it's exciting.
I know if I will get my pro card. It's just to win.
When?
Yeah, that's the plans.
And then we'll all have a big trip out to Vegas or where it is for the
Olympian, right?
Well. Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
Excuse me.
Fellas, what are the 2026 plans? Wilkie, yours is probably get you back to functioning, so you can. Yeah, we'll have to help you out of that chair when we finish here.
Gym-wise,
yeah, we've already touched on it a bit.
I mean, I suppose the big one is the purchase of the building. So. We've said it many times. We hope that'll be done potentially in January.
And what does that mean for the members? So when you guys purchase the gym, does that obviously gives the gym a genuine long-term secured future, doesn't it? Because what people don't realise, like maybe like the members here, is you're at the mercy of a landlord sometimes, aren't you? He might be like, look guys, we've got a better offer from such and such, want to come in next year, here's your 4 months notice.
And that's it. It's just the security of this being ours and
long term.
We don't have to go anywhere. There's plenty of room to grow still, even just within the gym itself now. Like the plans we've got, we're on about moving the leg area into
where the arms is,
where the back and buys are.
Yeah, sorry.
Because ultimately we're going to have a lot more leg stuff than we are going to have back and buys.
That's good for you, eh?
It is. I like a bit of legs.
So, yeah, it's just
it's security, isn't it? Like it almost justifies our decision to leave our main jobs. that you know you could be here for as long as you want to be here.
Yeah.
Which would be a long time. So, and then, I mean, people might not think the brakes have been on. We said it, I think, in episode 1. They kind of are this year.
Are they really? Because I mean, you've already put even since I've been here, there's a lot gone into that gym.
Well, that's what I mean. A lot of folk from the outside looking in maybe would think they're not, but for us, there's a lot of changes we would like to make to the building, like the reception and stuff, which then becomes more of a reality to do. So, yeah, just exciting ideas with that. Like,
I thought that video that I doom scrolled into the other day, I thought that was a good.
Oh yeah.
I never seen that before.
Was it that start?
Yeah, like literally like 5-6 years ago. Like, you know, Nath looks about 10 in the video. Like genuinely, like, looks about 10 years old. But just to see, like, even you could see specks of it, couldn't you? Like the old Cali rig, that was just kind of that was the focal point. And then even just going in yesterday, and you're seeing all like there's that much kit in there now that there's you've put signs in, so
that looks good. Them signs look really good.
Yeah.
Little touches like that, I think, as well. It's always just adding little bits and pieces.
I think small changes, like even small, like the most minute change, definitely helps, like customers and all that. Yeah, as long as they can see you're actively changing the smallest.
It's not stagnant, is it? Yeah.
People like just seeing small changes.
Yeah.
You can put a poster up or something on the wall and be like, oh my god, they're doing something.
Yeah. But someone actually said yesterday when walked in and the signs were getting put up. They actually say every time I come in here, there's something new put in. Having a nice reception area, like coffee area and stuff like that, maybe.
Social hub.
Yeah, that would be a
I think that's what would definitely help. You know, somewhere after training, you could actually just sit and congregate and have a crack.
Any training goals for 2026? Got anything in mind? I need to test my front squat.
Actually, I've said it a few times about getting involved in more classes.
Be a bit consistent.
But again, it's just juggling it, isn't it? Like, I suppose potentially even making a call and like programming and be like, right, I'm going to train 3 times a week gym-wise and get to X amount of classes. So, yeah, just maybe having a bit more structure and trying to plan some of them in, I would say.
It's always easier to have mine is probably like, I've got a couple of high roxes already kind of penciled in with, like, say I do it with my mate because I enjoy training with my mates. Like, that's why I play rugby, because I want to compete with people that I give a shit about. It's a bit of a weird thing. Like, I always thought, like, my idea of competition is working hard for a team or somebody else. Like, I used to do a lot of comps with my twin because he is my best mate, and I know that he's gonna, when it gets really horrible, he'll go there, and then that makes you go there as well. How about you, Nate? You've got a lot on, haven't you, mate?
Yeah,
a lot
on. So
keep your head above water, really, isn't it?
That's it. Just
elaborate.
Elaborate. Yeah. It can be edited.
Have I told you, Daz? Do you know? No. You're gonna be dad?
Oh yeah! Oh, congratulations, man!
Elaborate, yeah.
Live announcement.
It's out there now, yeah.
Maybe after editing that bit out.
Yeah. But yeah, you've got a lot on, personal-wise, work-wise, so is it just headspace?
Yeah, so it's just enjoy training, not putting pressure on. I was supposed to be doing High Rocks Pro doubles with Huey in January, and I think you might be jumping onto that.
Yeah, you've just that's another announcement that's just been made. All right, I am then, yeah.
Might be. We'll see.
We'll see how we get on.
But yeah, so to be fair, I've been jumping on the CrossFit sessions.
Yeah, you've been enjoying good crack, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it.
I'm just stiff as a board. And
but also as well, there's something to be said of that, isn't there? Like every new year that comes around, like, there's got to be something. But actually, wherever you maybe are in your life or whatever's going on, sometimes it's like, well, no, I'm going to take the pressure off. I'm just going to do the 2 or 3 sessions a week, and then. And
that's it. So I was actually just saying to Katie about training and that, like, not put any pressure on the performance side, but just to enjoy it.
Yeah, have a release.
But with that then turns into the performance again. So at the minute, like,
you're in a bit of a fresh space, aren't you? Because you're trying something different with some new movements.
And that's it. Like, when we first got you guys in, obviously there was a lot happening in the gym, and training took a back step. And it's just now about enjoying it again. And as well, I know we talked about earlier about the performance being the goal, but I still want to look good as well.
Yeah, we all do.
So I still want to get the box ticked. So I'm still in shape, and then just enjoy the training. So I'm going to dabble at CrossFit, just do push-pull legs in the gym as and when, keep on top of it, and try and hit the roads and get me VO2 max back up.
I did my first pull session the other week. I hadn't a fucking clue what I was doing, but I was pulling stuff.
So it was getting pulled?
Yes. Probably my back,
Saturday
night. Should we call it a wrap? I think we're getting better at this.
That was awesome.
I think that, for me, genuinely interesting. Like, I know nothing about bodybuilding. I think the dedication that goes into it, like the nuances of it, how consistent you have to be over such a long time to be in the year in, year out.
That's what it is. It's a long gym, like a marathon sport.
Yeah.
You've got to put graft in just to actually.
And constantly having your eye on that. There's the distractions all around your life. Things are going on, but actually, like, that thing is there, and I'm not going to stop. Yeah, so I really hope you get there.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I think it'd be mega. Like, it'd be nice, like you said, to see somebody from work and hit that success, and then, like, if anything, we get a fucking trip to Vegas. So we will absolutely be there. Yeah. Let's wrap it up, lads.
Yeah.
Well done. Episode 3 done. Should be out. I'm hoping to have it done before Christmas Eve, because I don't want to be doing this over Christmas.
Editing over wrapping.